Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to today's Harmonize to Energize. My name is Terry Matthews. I am working remotely on behalf of the Mary Burmeister Jin Shin Jyutsu Institute. Mary Burmeister Jin Shin Jyutsu Institute is the authentic source of Jin Shin Jyutsu throughout the world. And for those of you that are completely new to Jin Shin Jyutsu is an art of harmonizing what you can call the life force, chi, or energy as it moves congruently or not through the body, left and right of the spine. And in Jin Shin Jyutsu, we do this by placing our hands, palms of our hands, back of our hands, thumbs, on what we call safety energy locks. And there's 26 of them to the left of the spine, 26 to the right, and they're also in the arms. Way less than what acupuncturists may use. And each safety energy lock is the size or the width of the palm of your hand. And if you just place your hands now, you may or may not feel a sensation, but energy circulates through these energy locks like portals. And it comes down from different dimensions of light and sound and enters our body. And then we live our lives, harmonized or not, but we have hands, we have fingers, we have toes in order to bring us back into harmony. So before we continue with today's mystery presenter, I want to just give you a brief look at the Jin Shin Jyutsu website. So especially for those of you that are new, who may not have ever come across it. I should be sharing it now, not blanking you out. So here is the Jin Shin Jyutsu website. It's www.jsjinc.net. And you have all the links on the top of the menu. You can find out all about what's going on in the Jin Shin Jyutsu world, who our practitioners are, or some of them. Not everyone signs up. The store where you can purchase products, outreach where you can apply for a grant. And as you can see, and I click on one of the menu links here, you can see all the different classes here, all the informations, CEUs, etc., etc. Below are events happening now or coming in the near future. And next Saturday at 2:00 EST, we have our very popular Spanish JSJ instructor, Chus Arias from Spain. Chus is an MD as well as a Jin Shin Jyutsu instructor. And I will be the host, assisting Chus. She introduces Jin Shin Jyutsu and dental projects, taking care of the energy, nurturing and regenerating teeth and gums. Some people ask me, well, I've never done Jin Shin Jyutsu before, or I've only read a few books. Is this a good choice for me? Generally speaking, we recommend people have done at least one 5-day basic course, because sometimes the instructor will quote things from the textbooks which they don't have. So it can be confusing. However, I do get letters from people saying that was a really great webinar, even though I never knew anything about Jin Shin Jyutsu until then. So the choice is yours, but the recommendation is for your own ease of the absorption of the material, at least one 5-day class. Anyway, here's all the information and the fee and where you can register. This format has already begun. It's a 5-day basic seminar online in little increments each week. This is an interesting way of studying Jin Shin Jyutsu. Apparently, this is how Mary Burmeister herself originally taught, on a week-by-week basis. It gives you time to absorb the information in between, which suits some people much better, their lifestyle, their ability to absorb information. You can join anytime, because all of these webinars have replays. And as the replays present themselves, in this case, week by week, you can catch up. So you can go back and you can look. Anyway, all the information is there. There you go. Recordings are available. all the information. The organizer is from Austria, actually. You can email her and you can click on the links here. Beginning April the 22nd, which is the day before, next Saturday, we have Walter Rodriguez Krause from Germany with a special topic webinar on menopause and fertility. All right. It's beginning April the 22nd and it goes on for 3 days, April 22nd, 23rd and 24th. Your tuition is there. Information from the organizer is available. Cecilia Gourdoy, register today. And then if you've missed any of our offerings, here are all the links. Click on the links and follow the instructions and you'll be able to be sent webinars, and again, from the past. And again, they're available for 3 months. All right. Well, everybody, I hope you have a good day, and thank you all that are turning up. Yes, Diana, I know there is an issue about people registering. I am in contact with Webinar Jam. Customer service there didn't seem to be able to solve the issue, and they've handed it to their technical people. And so far we're waiting. Yeah, sorry about that. But here's the good thing for anyone who usually is on. We do have the replays. If they're not receiving information, they can always go to the Jin Shin Jyutsu YouTube page, and then I will have uploaded today's, and all the others are there for them to click on. I do deeply apologize. It actually is unprecedented. We haven't had this situation occur. So maybe it's something that Webinar Jam are having problems with, and I'm waiting to hear back. So anyway, without further ado, enough from me. Today's mystery presenter is, ta-da! Yes, welcome, Bridget.
See me? Okay.
Yes, it's Bridget Riggs from Florida. Welcome, Bridget.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate the invitation. And thank you, everybody. I know it's Good Friday. Happy Easter to everybody. Thank you for spending the time today. That's great. Everybody on the replay, too, I hope you could learn a lot and have a great experience. So before I talk a little bit more about myself, I wanted to set an intention that the next few minutes we get to relax and let go and let God, as Mary would say. Drop your shoulders down, take some deep breaths, smile. But in the beginning, I would like to introduce holding the ones, which is located on your inside of your knees. And this was a move that I did all the time, as I'll explain. So if you can hold your knees, either your hands crossed or lay them on the inner part of your knees, that'd be great until I move forward into my story. So my name is Bridget Riggs. I have a business called Finding Coherence, and I am here to tell you about my healing journey with Hashimoto's. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disease that affects the thyroid. And unfortunately, it was a pretty horrible disease. I was diagnosed in 2012. And some of the different side effects were depression, chronic fatigue, weight gain, joint pain, feeling cold all the time, hair loss, brain fog, heart palpitations, which kind of freaked me out a little bit because I thought I was having heart attacks. And I think the worst part of it was the difficulty of thinking as well as concentrating. And my health went downhill very quickly after I was diagnosed. And I was trying to find answers with the medical community, and I was taking the Synthroid pill. I was doing everything right, but I was going back to the doctor every 6 months to get my blood work reevaluated. And every time they said, hey, your blood work's great. You're normal. Everything's fine. Come back in 6 months. And everything wasn't fine. I did not feel well. I had that chronic fatigue. The depression was really getting bad, and it just got worse and worse and worse. I was working at the time full time. So I remember waking up one day, it was New Year's Eve, 2017. And the thought of going back to work, I just started getting this awful pain in my stomach, my gut. And the more I thought about work, the more I realized, whoa, what's going on? I love my job. I love what I do. I have a master's in molecular biology, and I also had 14 publications, scientific publications, where I'm an author on. And I worked at this cancer center for 10 and a half years. This was my dream job. I loved what I did, but I did not know how to handle stress. Even though I meditated, I didn't know how to handle the stress. So I realized at that point that I had to quit my job. I did not want to, but I had to. And I was getting a Rolfer, regular treatments monthly. And he mentioned Jin Shin Jyutsu and talked about it a lot. And I thought, you know what? I trust him. I want to try it. We'll see. So I quit my job with no plan except for working with me and getting healthy. So I got on a plane and went to Sedona and took my first Jin Shin Jyutsu class, the 5-day with Anita Willoughby. And it was an amazing experience. And I fell in love with the art. And I thought, just holding my fingers, if I can harmonize all emotion, what a great tool. You didn't have to buy anything, didn't have to take a pill, didn't have to do anything else. So I'm like, this, I think, is what's going to be my next thing. And I was already a licensed massage therapist here in Florida, so it was going to be an easy transition. Unfortunately, I did not do the self-care every day. I did not hold my fingers or do any of the mudras. I don't know. I think I was just so overwhelmed. I figured just reading and practicing every now and then was going to help. And I would recommend to everybody out there, do what you can do today, because it's cumulative, like meditation. So if you just do just your fingers, and I remember being in bed and just not feeling well, and all I could remember is the hand mudras. So I started with those, but also holding my ones in bed was easy to do because I laid on my side and I just crossed them. And I could feel just things were changing in my head. My thoughts were a little bit different. So I figured, something's working here. So I kept on doing my Jin Shin Jyutsu daily, and my health was getting better and better each day, except for some days weren't as great, and I felt like I was falling back in the process. But I eventually, in November 2019, I remember waking up one day and I was about to take my pill, and I could tell my body was saying no. So I would not recommend this. I am not a doctor, but I knew my body, and I just stopped taking the pill. And from that day on, I started also saying things like, I am healthy and well, because I remember hating my body. I remember saying all this negative, nasty things to me. Why is my body failing me? Why am I feeling so miserable? I must be a horrible person. And it just kept on going. And I think the whole process of Jin Shin Jyutsu, it really is getting to know thyself. And I think that was just the best gift that anyone can give yourself. And self-care is self-love. And I think a lot of us don't love ourselves enough because of just what we've been told and trying to strive to do better. And though I was great at my job and I loved it, I knew I was killing myself. So I continued to read and research because I am a scientist, and the magical combination I came up with was doing Jin Shin Jyutsu daily along with tuning forks. And the tuning fork that I had, I would put it on my body, just different parts. And then I played with actually the safety energy locks that Terry talked about earlier. And it was pretty amazing how my body started to shift. But then I started to read more about quantum physics and frequencies. And that's really where my life started to change, because I realized my words and my thoughts that I were saying really made a difference in my health. So I went back to the doctor, but because of COVID, I wanted to give some time. And it was May of 2020, and I did my blood work, went to the doctor, and she said, yeah, you don't have the antibodies anymore. You don't have Hashis anymore. Good for you. So I was just, wow, this is good. Because again, how I felt was a big deal. And I knew from that experience when I woke up and had that pain in my stomach, I need to listen to my body. So one of the other things I would do in bed, because a lot of days I just didn't even want to get out of bed, was taking my right hand, putting on the top of my head, and my left hand putting in my pubic area. And this is the shortcut of the main central. And I would do this and lay in bed and just do some deep breaths. Please feel free to do this now instead of holding your ones. But this to me kind of really just made me feel well and good. And then after a few minutes, I would take my right hand and put it in my sacrum area, and sandwiching my pubic bone and my sacrum just really felt just so calming and so relaxing. And I started to feel the little tingling in my hands and the heat in my hands. And I was just getting so excited because things were starting to move a lot quicker. And that's the one thing with Jin Shin Jyutsu, having patience with your body going through the different cycles. There's so many different relationships, as you will learn with Jin Shin Jyutsu, but also of the body, the physical body. So I did the 8 mudras that's in the textbooks on a regular basis in bed, and that also helped me shift. I also wanted to do some other things due to the constipation in the morning. As soon as I would go first thing in the morning to the bathroom, I would also cross my hands and hold my ones for a period of time until I would eliminate, and that was wonderful. Also, I incorporated, after every time I ate dinner, I started doing the stomach flow, the first movement of the stomach flow, which is 22 here and 21 here. And I would do both sides. And I would just sit after I would digest and just breathe. And I could feel things not bloating up like it used to, and just this calmness in the body. So I also incorporated doing, because when you have an autoimmune disease, your immunity is a little off. You need to boost it. And I learned this, one of the first things I remember Anita walking around in class talking about how she held her 11s and 3s and then circled each finger, and how calming that was. And you could lay in bed and do this. It was just so easy. So I made a pact to myself. Every time I would walk across the house or something, I would do the different fingers and just keep up with it. And I really felt that that was really kind of all inclusively what made me just come out of my Hashimoto's. I do remote work now, so I kind of came up with some other techniques, because people long distance, I just text them to say, hey, we're starting our session now. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing or if they're even present. So I learned about the central nervous system and how it needs to be in a parasympathetic mode. So a really quick technique to get into the parasympathetic mode is circling a figure 8 around your eyes, because the vagus nerve starts in the ear and it wanders through every single organ of the body. And when you do this, this makes your body yawn. It makes the stomach start gurgling. And this is the time that you can digest, restore, rest, and heal your body. And I know now that we're supposed to be in parasympathetic 95% of the time. And I don't know about you, but when I was working, I was in sympathetic mode 95% of the time. And that's fight, flight, or freeze mode. So no wonder I got so sick, because I never calmed my body down to the point where we could actually rest and heal the body. So I started doing this before I went to bed, before I ate any food, to get me into a mindset of healing. So I wanted to share a little bit of my knowledge with, other than, Jin Shin Jyutsu. But another technique is called a Haven technique, where this is 19, your elbows. This is high 19. But when you stroke it like this is called the Haven technique by Paul McKenna. He's from the UK. He's a hypnotherapist. When you do this, it's also very calming. And you even see children sometimes doing this. And some people just hold like this, and it feels so comforting. So I would invite you also to incorporate that during your day, before you sleep at night, and things like that, because that really has helped. So that was my quick story about Hashimoto's, that you can heal your body, and it is possible. So now I would like to go into a meditation. Unless people have questions to ask me, I'll be more than happy to share any knowledge, extra knowledge that I have. I'm not sure if I see any, so I'm going to go ahead and start with 4 of the different mudras. The first one is holding your middle finger, your left hand open, and right hand clasping your middle finger. And then I like to put my finger down my palm, because in your palm you have the diaphragm and umbilicus energy. Breathing in and exhaling. And everybody has a different breath. So I invite you to take as many breaths as you would like. 36 a day is ideal and optimal. And I highly recommend doing breath work or any type of breathing. It's a big, I don't want to say fad right now, but if you Google it, breath work is very popular right now. And they're realizing how important breath is. This is also a shortcut to the main central, holding your middle finger. It also helps with anger. And believe me, I had anger issues when I was working. And now I like to say I grip it. I don't flip it anymore. So it's a good hold to have. Again, taking a breath in, smiling, and relaxing, dropping your shoulders. Always checking in with your body. Having good, happy thoughts. Thinking good, happy thoughts. And actually, if you have some sound, like the yoga breath, when you're exhaling, to have that Darth Vader sound. I can't really express it here, but having any type of sound or vibration is really good for the body. I have about another minute left on this finger. So breathing in, happiness and joy. And exhaling what no longer serves you. Breathing in joy and healing energy. And exhaling what no longer serves you. So now let us move to the second mudra, which is the same mudra, but holding it on the top side of your hand. So grab your middle finger, Have your thumb go down the back and breathe. You don't have to have your hands up here. You can leave them down on your lap. Again, if you're laying down, anywhere that's comfortable. And it's always nice to maybe have some nice music in the background. I use the app Om, which has a bunch of different meditation sounds that have a time limit on it. And I find that as a perfect tool with my Jin Shin, especially when wanting to hold these fingers between 3 to 5 minutes apiece. And try different ones because there's several of them there. Some of them you might not like. And again, what works for me might not work for you. You need to figure out what that is. And again, I love to share my Jin Shin knowledge, even in bed. Which SEL can I hold? Which one can I harmonize? Constantly thinking, how can I heal my body? How can I be at peace? But breathing in and exhaling. I've also studied with Lynn McTaggart, and she's all about the power of 8. And when you gather more than 6 people and you have set an intention of the same thought, for example, letting us have a breath here to let go and let God in and heal our bodies. When you have more people doing this together, it makes it a million times better because we're all focused on the same thing. And if you haven't looked at her work, I would highly recommend it. I do Power of 8 groups a lot. And I'm even thinking about doing a group where just we do the hand mudras at a specific time every day. And it will change people's lives because it's so impactful when you have more than one person. Now we're going to move to the 7th mudra, which is when you take both hands in prayer position, and then you fold all the fingers except for the middle ones. And this one's so easy to do, placing it. I like to place a lot of these mudras on my chest area or area of 13. It's all about relationships, about fertility, and it just gives you an overall good feeling of wellness. Again, a little reminder to drop your shoulders if you're sitting up. Breathing at least 8 breaths on each mudra. Thinking peaceful thoughts. Smiling. Smiling produces many different neurotransmitters like oxytocin, serotonin, and all these chemicals, not chemicals, but neurotransmitters actually make you feel happy. In fact, if you smile and look up, you cannot think of a bad thought. I challenge you to try, but it does not work. Your body has an innate system of how to reset itself, how to restore itself. And we need to be more aware of this and share this information with other people. Especially now what's going on into the world. We have to be in harmony with ourselves first before we can go out to the world and help others. And that is my quest right now, to help everyone that has had some type of autoimmune disease or Hashimoto's, because it's all relative. In fact, I recently learned that all autoimmune diseases are caused by trauma in your life between the ages of 0 and 7 years old. And I don't know about you, but being a child of the 60s, yeah, there was some of that going on. We don't have a conscious mind until we're 7 years old. But yet we've been programmed with all this stuff that we see. And again, the brain and the mind that you have at 5 is much different at 50. And at 50 is when I realized I had to change my life around. So I'm 57 now, and with Jin Shin, I plan to get younger and younger each year. And I know it's possible. Again, breathing in love and joy, and exhaling what no longer serves me. And finally, our last mudra is going to be taking your hands, having your middle finger nails touch each other. And then I like to put all the fingertips together. And again, holding it in my chest area here. We have a minute left on this last pose. I'm sorry if I spoke during the other ones, but I just get excited about sharing information, and now I feel very present right now. I want to enjoy this with you. Again, thank you for taking the time to take out for you, for yourself. Please do yourself a favor and do this every day. And if you forget, not a big deal. Do it when you can remember. It's an amazing, beautiful practice, and that's why they call it a practice, to do every day. You don't go to the gym one time and expect to have a bodybuilder figure. And if you want to be healthy and happy, I would definitely recommend this. Thank you so much, Terry. I appreciate it. I hope everybody had a good time.
Thank you. I noticed actually on occasion when you were smiling, you were looking up. That's interesting. Yeah, eyes on heaven, feet on the ground is a Sufi term I've heard of.
Oh.
From my days teaching the dances of universal peace.
Nice.
So, thank you. I enjoyed the way you wove all the different threads together. I love the figure of 8 around the eyes.
Yes.
Folks, there are various energy pathways that go around the eyes. I mean,
yeah.
You got your bladder for a start, gallbladder is there. And, the relationship between the eyes and the liver and the middle finger, I didn't actually know about the parasympathetic mode being induced by that, though.
Yeah.
But it reminded me, I don't know, those of you that read the Facebook page, I chose to chat about environment this week. And if you're creating an inner environment where your nervous system is relaxed, let alone being out in nature and other things that I suggested in my little protocol there, you're on a win-win. You can't lose. So that's a very helpful technique. And I can see from some of the comments that a lot of people enjoyed that. And people are asking questions. Diana was asking several questions. What are you doing now? What's the name of your company? I seem to remember that.
So I have a website now called findingcoherence.com, and I do remote work. However, in May, I will have a 6-week Hashi Wellness program that we will incorporate Jin Shin practices, as well as all the knowledge that I've learned about the vagus nerve, the body, the mind, power of 8. And I really am excited about it because I really do think it's going to make a difference with a lot of people. And then I could just figure out how I can make it better for the next few months. I don't do so much work right now because I'm getting this class up, but I'll be more than happy to do a 30-minute conversation to help people. It's a gift to share, and I don't want to keep it just, to myself. And if you go to my website and put your email address, I will send you a meditation with the hand mudras. It's a PowerPoint slide, but it'll also have calming music in it. And I think it's one of my gifts that I can give out because spending time with me here is greatly appreciated. Sharing the gift like Mary wanted. So any other questions?
Well, will that connect them with your mudra group?
I haven't started that Facebook page yet, but if they send me the email, I will link them up to that as well. So I'll have a Facebook page also for a Power of 8 for the 8 mudras, and then I'll have my Hashimoto Wellness program. I also have a YouTube channel that I'm creating and doing little clips of just for headaches, first aid, that kind of thing. But I haven't uploaded all the videos yet. But
will these different vehicles all be called Finding Coherence, or will they be under your name as well?
Well, right now, because YouTube, I'm starting off, it will be my name, Bridget Riggs, but you really can't find it because I don't have that many subscribers. But once I do, then I'll be broadcasted over. It's just how YouTube works. That's why I would like the email so I can personally invite you to it and any groups that I have. It'll be kind of like a newsletter.
Okay, folks. So go to that findingcoherence.com and then sign up there. And then Bridget will connect you with your interests, or she'll probably tell you about what she's doing generally. And then you can hook in from that point. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So it looks to me as though everybody in the chat room is very, very happy. We actually gained an extra person. Again, I'm sorry about why everyone's having to re-register. It's probably very frustrating because I normally see a lot more people from Europe, and there's not many, if any. So something's going on, folks. But, sometimes this kind of change happens for a purpose, and there's a clearing going on, and something new will emerge from this. And certainly it's my great pleasure to have members of the community come on and share with us their Jin Shin Jyutsu. And, there are other aspects to their work where it overlapping connections, which can be helpful. And speaking from your heart will bring out those things. We don't hold back what we know, what possibly can help. So
Right.
again, thank you, Bridget. It was
you.
my pleasure to host you today. And
Thank you.
thank you, everybody, for joining us, those of you that could. And again, the replay will be up. I'll probably do it maybe a little bit after this. I often leave it, but maybe as ASAP because people are struggling to register. And with that, I want to wish you a beautiful rest of the day, the weekend. You know, a lot of people will be honoring the tradition of Easter. You know, is within most traditions, I believe, Celtic. You know, as well as what is predominantly the religions of the world. And if you follow those traditions or you believe traditions, whatever that connection is, I wish you much love and blessing during this particular period. Because I don't know about you, it's not something I've just heard, but I think when the community are uplifted with inspiring stories, we connect to that unified field within which those characters played a role, whether it was Jesus or Muhammad. They're there in the ethers, their story, their deliverance, their consciousness, and it's up to us whether we want to embrace that and how we do that. But Bridget is an example of someone that went through a tough time. And I think all of us, if we're honest, we have those moments sometimes that last longer than 1 minute. And, you know, we find something that can help us. And it expands our consciousness of healing and health and being. And at the end of the day, what's it all about? You know, being who we are requires a healthy body, a healthy mind. And I was really happy when Bridget mentioned about our thoughts. You know, this is the bus line, thoughts, and then we have our words and our deeds. Think about what you're thinking about because it can make a huge difference. I mean, gosh, that was so touching that you laid back in bed and all these, you know, negative, or if you like, thoughts of not good enough or what could I have done. You know, we hear the term karma and cause and effect, but it's not about blame or shame or, you know, well, you did that or your ancestors did that, so tough. It's all come around. No, cause and effect happens, but we are forgiven in the sense of what I understand, the fours at the back of the head. They can allow us to bring in more light and they can give more light to a situation. And for me, that is what forgiveness also includes. It gives more light to a situation so we understand and we can transform from it. So, happy Easter, Oster, however you pronounce it, wherever you're from. Cheerio, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, if anyone from Germany did make it today. See any people. And no doubt, all going well, we'll hear from Bridget again. I do like to invite people back from time to time. So if Bridget is able and willing, I will invite her back again at some time. So thank you again. Take care, everyone. And we'll see you same place, same time next week. Bye for now, everyone.